Tokenized stocks, your profits untaxed. Here's the bottom line up front. One of the most followed analysts in all of AI just made a new call, and it points somewhere most investors are not even looking. First, who is this? The account goes by Serenity. No real name, no face, just a handle, with nearly 1 million followers hanging on every post. She is an AI and semiconductor supply chain analyst, and her whole edge is spotting the one component the industry is about to run short of before the market does. When she posts, hundreds of thousands of people read it within hours, and here is why that should matter to you. By her own tally, her calls this year are up more than 4,500%. Now, most of that you cannot independently verify. But her last big call you can, because it is on the record. It was memory. While the crowd called it dead money, she said buy. And it was not one name, it was the entire memory trade. From the levels she flagged, Micron ran about 195%, SanDisk over 280, and the Korean memory giants more than doubled. Now that same account has rotated. Not into another memory name, but into the next bottleneck in AI, the light that wires the chips together. And the cleanest way to own that call on chain is Coherent, ticker COHR. Here is the thesis and why it holds up. So here is the problem AI just ran into. To build a cluster, you have to wire tens of thousands of GPUs together so they behave as one machine. For years, that wiring was copper. But at AI speeds and distances, copper cannot move the data fast enough. So the industry switched to light. Those long links now run through optical transceivers, and the high-speed ones rely on a tiny precise laser called an EML, an electro-absorption modulated laser. No laser, no link. No link, no cluster. Now the scarce part. An EML packs the laser and its modulator onto a single chip, which makes it brutally hard to manufacture, and only a handful of companies on Earth can do it at scale. So supply is tight. Right now, demand for these lasers is running about 30% ahead of what the industry can build. And here is the clearest proof of how scarce they are. In March, Nvidia paid $4 billion. $2 billion each to the two American leaders, Coherent and Lumentum, just to lock up priority access to their laser supply, pushing lead times past 2027. When the most powerful company in AI pays $4 billion simply to guarantee it can buy a part, that part is the bottleneck. And the demand wall behind it is enormous. Shipments of the fastest optical transceivers 800G and above are set to jump from about 24 million units last year to 63 million this year, more than 2.5x. The overall optical transceiver market is on track to cross $26 billion this year, driven mostly by AI. This is the same pattern memory just went through. AI creates a shortage of one tiny, irreplaceable component, and the few who make it start printing money. So of the handful that make these lasers, which one do you own? The basket Serenity's followers are buying spans the optical names, but the standout, and the one you can hold on chain, is Coherent. It is one of the two American leaders. Nvidia just backed with $2 billion, and it is the bigger, more diversified of the two. And the numbers are already showing it. Last quarter, Coherent did $1.8 billion in revenue, up 21%. But the piece that matters, its data center and communications business, did about $1.4 billion, up roughly 40% in a year, as the hyperscalers race from 800 gig to the next generation, 1.6 terabit, transceivers. This is not a forecast. It is in the results. Now the honest other side. These optical names have already run hard this year, so you are not early to the theme. A lot of the upside leans on Nvidia continuing to spend, and if the laser shortage eases after 2027, as new capacity comes online, the richest valuations get hit first. So this is a high conviction, high volatility trade, not a sleepy hold. Size it accordingly. Now the valuation, because it is not cheap either. Coherent trades at a steep premium, roughly 45 to 60 times forward earnings, well above typical hardware names. You are paying up. But the growth backs it up. Its data center business is growing more than 40% a year, and the street models company revenue rising from about $7 billion this fiscal year to roughly $9.5 billion the next, over 30% growth, with management guiding for even faster. So this is a premium price for a genuine shortage winner, not a cheap turnaround. Pay up only if you believe the optical bottleneck lasts. So here is the whole thesis in one line. AI has moved its bottleneck to the lasers that connect the chips. The supply is locked up into 2027, and Coherent is the American leader at the center of it. That is the reason to look at COHR, not because one account flagged it, but because almost every AI cluster being built needs the exact part it sells. You can own it two ways: through a normal broker or on-chain. As a tokenized stock, COHR trades on Ondo 24/7. And as always, we prefer on-chain because your profits stay yours untaxed. None of this is financial advice, and these have moved fast, so size it like the volatile trade it is. The account that saw memory before the crowd is now pointing at the lasers. The skill is deciding whether to follow early or watch and confirm.